ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਸਿਟੀ ਦੀ। ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਨੁਮਾਇੰਦਿਆਂ ਤੇ ਹੈਲਥ ਅਫੀਸ਼ੀਅਲਸ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਵੀਕਲੀ ਅਪਡੇਟ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਮੀਡੀਆ ਬਰੀਫਿੰਗ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ ਤੇ ਮੌਜੂਦਾ ਹਾਲਾਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਰੈਸਟ੍ਰਿਕਸ਼ਨ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਪ੍ਰਤੀਕਰਮ ਵੀ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਗਿਆ। ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵੀਕਲੀ ਅਪਡੇਟ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਮੇਅਰ ਪੈਟਰਿਕ ਬਰਾਊਨ ਨੇ ਸੂਬਾ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਦਾ ਸੇਫਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਧਿਆਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਖਦਿਆਂ ਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਨੂੰ ਖੋਲ੍ਹਣ ਲਈ ਫਰੇਮਵਰਕ ਐਲਾਨੇ ਜਾਣ ਲਈ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕੀਤਾ। ਜ਼ਿਕਰਯੋਗ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਵਿੱਚ 7 ਨਵੰਬਰ ਤੋਂ ਰੈਸਟੋਰੈਂਟਸ ਡਾਈਨ-ਇਨ ਲਈ ਖੋਲ੍ਹ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਜਾਣਗੇ।
With the framework, it's proposed that restaurants, bars, and fitness facilities will be able to reopen in Brampton effective Saturday, November 7th, pending the province's final approval this Friday. I want to note that the data in Peel Region was different than the data in the city of Toronto. Restaurants were not a source of major outbreaks. We didn't have a single in-dining incident in the city of Brampton. It was not a source of our COVID challenges, and so the fact that this has been revisited and restaurants are open, I think, is encouraging news. You know, these are small business. They had thrown their hearts, their souls, their life savings into these businesses, and to have them shut down with huge economic havoc was very concerning. Given the fact that it wasn't based on available public health data, I find it very encouraging that they're now being given an opportunity to reopen safely.
ਉਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਚੱਲ ਕੇ ਰੈਸਟੋਰੈਂਟਸ ਕਾਰਨ COVID-19 ਸਪਰੈਡ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਸਖਤ ਕਦਮ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਜਾਣਗੇ।
If it comes out that the picture changes and restaurants become a source for the spread, they will be shut down. The new framework dictates what the numbers are, and it creates some community responsibility. And so I would say to restaurants, if you are taking advantage of this goodwill from the province, know that you will face significant fines. Our bylaw department will make examples of anyone that is not following the public health advice. And we can't risk a few bad apples causing the entire region or the city to face continued spread. And so we're going to be very strict with enforcement of the public health protocols.
ਮੇਅਰ ਪੈਟਰਿਕ ਬਰਾਊਨ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਫੈਡਰਲ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਈਸੋਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਖੋਲ੍ਹੇ ਜਾਣ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨਗੇ।
I will be writing the Government of Canada along with Mayor Crombie and Mayor Thompson and Peel Region Chair Nando Yanika about the need for an isolation centre. And this is particularly important in Brampton. Toronto earlier was awarded funding from the federal government for an isolation centre in September. And if there was ever a region that deserved the same funding, it is the city of Brampton and the region of Peel. Having an isolation centre, and this has been very successful in other countries, would allow us to make sure that in these instances, where we have some of the most economically vulnerable members of our community, that they're not taking unnecessary risks, that we help them. We provide resources to make sure that we can protect them and their families, and the isolation center can help do that.
ਇਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਮੈਡੀਕਲ ਹੈਲਥ ਆਫੀਸਰ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਲਾਰੈਂਸ ਲੂ ਨੇ ਪੀਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੱਧ ਰਹੇ ਕੇਸਿਸ ਤੇ ਚਿੰਤਾ ਜਤਾਈ। ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੀਲ ਪਬਲਿਕ ਹੈਲਥ ਅਫੀਸ਼ੀਅਲਸ ਨਾਲ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਅਪੀਲ ਕੀਤੀ।
Peel is seeing the highest rates of case and test positivity in the province. Much of this activity is localized in Brampton. And while Peel Public Health is still contact tracing, our capacity is increasingly being challenged. That means that if public health is overwhelmed at some point, hospitals will be next. And so far, patients haven't overwhelmed ICUs, but hospital beds are starting to fill up. So I really need to urge Brampton, please, if Peel Public Health is calling you, answer the phone. Please work with us to help stop spread. Too many people are not picking up. As modified stage 2 ends, it's clear that it may have come at just the right time for our region. It helped to reduce the severity of the second wave, which started in mid-October. We are at a precarious point to get the pandemic under control in our community, and we must all work together to stop spread and save lives.
ਵੀਕਲੀ ਅਪਡੇਟ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਸਿਟੀ ਕਾਉਂਸਲਰ ਹਰਕੀਰਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੇ ਦੀਵਾਲੀ ਦੇ ਤਿਉਹਾਰ ਦੇ ਮੱਦੇਨਜ਼ਰ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਗੈਦਰਿੰਗਸ ਤੋਂ ਗੁਰੇਜ਼ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਅਪੀਲ ਕੀਤੀ।
We all need to do our part and follow the recommendations of our public health officials and celebrate Diwali with those only in our immediate household only. This year, more than ever, we have to get a little creative with how we celebrate and connect with each other. Call and video chat with your friends and neighbors, watch a virtual firework display, and most of all, please be safe. If you choose to celebrate outside of your home, please remember to physically distance and adhere to all the COVID-19 safety precautions. That means 10 people inside, 25 people maximum outside, and you cannot combine those two restrictions. Include wearing a mask in all indoor public spaces. Also, let's show our support to members of our community this season. Consider making a donation to your local food bank or community group and support local small businesses and restaurants. When celebrating this year, please make sure to use fireworks safely and responsibly. Short-range fireworks are allowed on private property in Brampton on November 14 only. Fireworks are not allowed in parks, sidewalks, and other public spaces.
ਜ਼ਿਕਰਯੋਗ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਬੀਤੇ ਹਫਤੇ ਬ੍ਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਫੇਸ ਮਾਸਕ ਦੀ ਵਾਇਓਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ 11 ਚਾਰਜਸ ਲਗਾਏ ਗਏ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਚਾਰਜ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਗੈਦਰਿੰਗ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਲਗਾਇਆ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ।